Since 1913, the Canadian Paint and Coatings Association has been the voice of industry, and 100 years on that voice has never been stronger. The CPCA represents hundreds of paint manufacturers across Canada, generating $6 billion in retail sales and providing employment for 30,000 workers who earn a living supplying, selling, and distributing paint. Formed as the Canadian Paint, Oil, and Varnish Association to promote the economic interests of its members, today the CPCA does so much more.
The CPCA was the voice that dealt with government on legislative issues, environmental issues, and did a good job. And I was always even though I was an entrepreneur way out in the west coast of Vancouver, I was always a great supporter of the national strength of the organization.
You know, 30 years ago when I started in the paint industry, 50% of all the paint that we sold was alkyd-based paints. And as you know, today, they're a dying breed. In fact, they're very hard to find.
Well, actually, the history of the association from my family's perspective began in 1962 when we started producing color charts for the paint industry. And my father, and then later myself, and now my son are all involved in CPCA back almost from that time. In fact, my first time at a CPCA function was in 1974, so I'm dating myself, so I'm a bit of a historian on the organization.
Well, it's a special event because not too many make it that far. These because of a lot of merging, but it proves that we are doing something for the association and that we need each other in order to keep going.
Écoutez, je pense que le 100e anniversaire du CPCA, c'est quelque chose d'extraordinaire. Une association qui a duré 100 ans, c'est exceptionnel. Il faut sûrement j'étais pas là dans le passé, mais la contribution du CPCA a fait que la survie de toutes ces années, et certainement, je peux parler plus dernièrement, avec la contribution exceptionnelle. Mais cette contribution exceptionnelle est due au leadership qui a eu lieu surtout dans les dernières années. Là.
The CPCA represents a wide range of paint and coatings businesses, serving key industrial and consumer sectors. Architectural paints for decorative and protective uses, from backyard decks to fine furniture to structures of every size and shape. Industrial coatings for aircraft and farm equipment. Automotive coatings for new cars as well as vintage classics. Raw material suppliers.
Well, there's really two organizations representing the industry, and that's the U.S. organization and the Canadian organization. Both have a long history in serving the paint industry.
I think the common voice of the industry through the Canadian Paint and Coatings Association is absolutely critical. Going to government is a big undertaking to deal with individually. If as an individual producer I need to speak to government, they don't have time. I don't have the voice to get an appointment with them or to influence, I think, where they're going with things. So speaking as an industry association is absolutely critical when we're dealing with something as vast, as complicated as government.
The supply side, we feel, is an important part of it, an integral part of the paint industry. We're representing the different principles that sell into that industry, and we're introducing new technologies to the customers that allows them to move forward in the advancement of paint technology.
The association is national in scope. If you look at it, and even in the early days, the names people recognize now, like Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams, they were all part of the association going back to day one. We have members from right across the country. There is a very strong cluster, of course, in Quebec, Ontario, and the western region, BC and Alberta. Well, the membership is comprised of manufacturers, suppliers, and distributors. Those who supply the manufacturers who make the products, and even our manufacturers. Not only do they produce products, they also have retail outlets.
Le CPCA est très utile parce que je considère qu'avec la charge de travail qu'on a, on n'a pas le temps tous les matins d'aller lire les gazettes. Et ça serait un peu redondant qu'il y ait, je pense, une personne dans chaque industrie de la peinture qui, tous les matins, va voir la Gazette et l'épluche, en fait, pour voir c'est quoi, est-ce qu'il y a un nouvel amendement, est-ce qu'il y a une nouvelle loi qui s'en vient. Alors, le CPCA fait ça pour nous, et c'est très bien, parce que c'est long et fastidieux de lire, dans le fond, un règlement de loi. Alors, dès qu'il y a un nouveau, soit un amendement ou une nouvelle loi qui va nous toucher, nous sommes avisés par le CPCA de ce qui s'en vient, ce qui nous permet d'être proactifs.
Les compagnies majeures sont au niveau mondial. On ne parle pas de 2-3 pays, là. On parle d'industries qui sont dans 80-90 pays comme tels. Donc, c'est des gens qui vont toucher à tous les domaines. Parce que quand on parle peinture, souvent, les gens pensent à la peinture pour les murs, les plafonds. Alors que l'industrie, quand on dit revêtement, ça couvre tous les revêtements, ça couvre les additifs, ça couvre beaucoup, beaucoup de choses que les gens ne pensent pas. C'est le parapluie, finalement, de l'industrie. Et c'est leur rôle là, de supporter chacun. Il n'y a pas de privilège là, dans ce genre de domaine-là.
Of the many successes the CPCA has realized over the years, its leadership on environmental issues is perhaps its most significant. CPCA members are responsible stewards leading the world in post-consumer paint recycling. Coatings Care, CPCA's best practices program for a better environment and better health, is recognized worldwide. CPCA plays an active role in advising all levels of government on new regulations designed to improve environmental performance.
Nous sommes d'accord aussi à avoir des règlements très forts et qui est favorable pour l'environnement. Et nous sommes les premiers à vouloir embarquer à l'intérieur de l'environnement dans ces règles. Alors, nous sommes... sans ces règles-là, c'est sûr et certain que beaucoup d'entreprises auraient peut-être essayé de dévier d'une façon ou d'une autre parce que c'est sûr et certain que la recherche est reliée à l'amélioration des produits pour l'environnement, et ainsi de suite. Alors, c'était des choses qui ont été très bonnes. Et sans ces règles-là, je ne pense pas que l'industrie serait où ce qu'on est aujourd'hui.
Our goal, our objective, I think, as an industry should be that every gallon of paint that we sell should find its way back to us. And if we can achieve that, then I think we've been good stewards to the industry.
There's been tremendous growth in that time of environmental awareness of how often we think about stewardship and what as organizations we're doing about stewardship. It has been really exciting. It's almost an exhilarating ride that way. And looking forward, if 7 or 8 years can change that much, I think the one thing I can be guaranteed of in the next 7 or 8 years is more growth and more change. And looking forward to that, regulations, doing the right thing for the environment, that's only going to increase.
Sustainability is a near-term and long-term objective because the public demand for more environmentally friendly products is always going to be there.
While a 100th anniversary is an occasion to celebrate, it's no time to dwell on past accomplishments. Instead, the CPCA remains focused on safeguarding a fair and balanced regulatory environment going forward for members and the industry as a whole.
When you come to government with good ideas, as a collective, with a solution, a win-win solution, whether that's for the environment, the Canadian stakeholders, the people, and your business, there are ways that we can work together to make sure that next year looks better than this year.
Albany Lomas has valued their association with the CPCA, and we will continue to support the CPCA moving forward. It's been a great opportunity for us to meet with our customers and to participate in the growth of the Canadian paint industry.
On behalf of my whole company and my family, the Duha Group would like to congratulate CPCA on 100 years. It's a remarkable achievement, and we're so proud to be part of this association, and we look forward to many generations in the future of a strong relationship.
Il n'y a aucun doute que nous avons besoin de l'ensemble des joueurs dans l'industrie pour avoir une voix encore plus forte. Et les bénéfices que le CPCA a amenés à l'industrie est incroyable. Alors, il faut absolument s'assurer que les membres, qui ne sont pas encore membres, deviennent se joindre à l'association pour récolter les bénéfices, puis en même temps s'assurer qu'on a une voix encore plus forte et toujours forte dans le futur.
I certainly value the CPCA. I value the board members. All our time is volunteered and or donated by our companies. And certainly in the last 2 years working with Gary and the other members, I've seen a lot of progress that we've made. And I think that the paint industry today and moving forward will need associations like the CPCA if we're going to be successful in attaining our goals.
The Canadian Paint and Coatings Association, celebrating 100 years as the voice of the industry. La voix de l'industrie depuis un siècle.